For today's review, I'm going to be comparing the Magpul STR, the storage type restricted stock, to the B5 Enhanced Sopmod stock. The Magpul ships in their typical cardboard box. The B5 Sopmod, at least this OEM version, I don't know if they actually ship these in a box or if they even have a retail version, but this is an OEM one that just ships in a plastic bag with a barcode on it, and it just says Enhanced Sopmod or Sopmod buttstock, and it has I believe a build date on the decal. It says 313. It says B5-1074 black, and a barcode. So that's how these two ship. The B5 ships with nothing aside from the stock. The B5, that's all that comes with the B5, the bag and the stock. The Magpul, on the other hand, take it out. The stock ships wrapped in a plastic bag, which I've already taken off. It ships with a plastic Magpul 5.56 round. This is actually a tool used to install the buttstock, so we'll talk about that. The STR ships with a comprehensive set of installation instructions, like all of the Magpul products do. Ships with the nice Magpul logo decal, a warning card discussing the differences between commercial and mil-spec, and something to do about the extended butt pads as well. And most of the Magpul stocks also ship with this large fold-out poster. One side, in this example, one side has a VW bus with a minigun mounted on it, and on the other side of it is their 2014 product line. So I'm not going to unfold it. There's no way I can show this all on camera, but that's what it comes with. So you can see the Magpul comes with a bit more information than the B5. Now, both of these stocks, the reason I'm comparing these two is because both of these stocks, the geometry of these two are very similar, and these are both designed for storage of small components or tools or batteries. So they fill a certain niche in the marketplace, and it's worthwhile to go ahead and talk about these two and compare the specifications. Okay, starting off with the B5 Sopmod stock, I'll read you off some history on this particular stock. The original Sopmod stock was created by the Crane Division of the Naval Surface Warfare Center, NSWC, in Crane, Indiana, to help better serve America's premier warfighters. It improved upon the standard collapsible M4 stock by increasing the cheek weld surface area and including water-resistant battery storage compartments. This improved stock was originally made available to Special Operations Forces and has since trickled into other channels, including the civilian market. Anyone who has used a Sopmod stock can testify to its comfortable use and tight fitment on mil-spec diameter buffer tubes. While the first Sopmod stocks were made in-house at NSWC Crane, Lewis Machine and Tool, LMT, later took up the job of manufacturing the stock for military as well as commercial consumption. LMT's newer version stocks include quick detach, QD sling, swivel mounts, and a more secure lockup. LMT's commercial MSRP for the stock is $199, and that makes it a pricey option compared to other stocks. Now in 2009, B5 Systems stepped in and they won a contract with the US Army to produce the Sopmod stock, or Sopmod stock. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, so please excuse me. Officially named the B5 Systems Enhanced Sopmod buttstock, the stock is offered not only in black but in flat dark earth, coyote brown, foliage green, and hydro dipped ATAX AU, ATAX FG, and multicam patterns. B5 Systems Enhanced Sopmod is competitively priced at $120. So as you can tell by some of this information I'm reading off, LMT markets a virtual identical stock to this. There are some slight variances, but I don't have an LMT to compare them side by side. But for the most part, they are pretty similar in their design and their look. The LMT is substantially more money, though. The B5 Sopmod Enhanced stock has a retail of $120, but on the street you can see them for between $80 and $95 for these. I think the LMT lever is a little bit different than the B5 lever, and the weight is 11.5 ounces. So with a weight of 11.5 ounces, if we compare that to the STR at 0.77 of a pound, I'd have to do the conversion to figure that out. And let's see. Well, that's pretty much most of the technical data I have available for this. Some of the other data I have, of course it's all over the internet, is fitment issues with this B5 Enhanced Sopmod stock. If you do enough research, you'll find out that supposedly some first gens had fitment issues. The problem I have with the comments that are out on the internet is that I've been buying these in bulk. It's 2014. I had an order of these probably 2 months ago, 20 of them, and only 2 of them fit. 18 of them were completely out of spec and did not fit the buffer tubes. And we're not talking a screw up with commercial versus mil spec stocks. We're talking all mil spec stocks that just were way too tight on a mil spec buffer tube. These are designed to fit tight, but there's obviously some sort of quality control issues with B5. And prior to that order, I had several other orders, and at least 50% of the B5 stocks in those orders were out of spec as well. So this has been going on from fourth quarter of 2013 up to first quarter of 2014. I've had fitment issues. Now this one I'm reviewing here is one of my own personal ones that I cherry picked out of an order because it fit, and I kept it for myself. And I'll show you the fitment here. The installation of the buffer tube on the B5. I've got to make sure the battery storage compartments are completely out of the way, otherwise we can't get the buffer tube started. It's even with this one, it's tight to get the buffer tube started. But once we get the buffer tube started, we have to pull down on this lever, and I need to do it off camera, as I've got to use the lever to pull the tab down. it's not easy to pull the knob down on these stocks. Okay, jabbing it into my stomach to get some leverage. Basically, you have to pull this down and hold it while you slide the stock in. Once we get the stock in, you can see we don't have a friction lock here. We just have the lever, and just slide it until it locks in place. Now you'll notice there's virtually no wobble at all, even without a friction lock on this. So it's very tight tolerances. So if you get one of these that actually fit, you can see how this slides back and forth. I'm holding the lever down, slides real smooth. A lot of these, what'll happen is you'll get the buffer tube in, and you'll try to slide the buffer tube in, and it'll stop, and you'll just have to really reef on it to slide it and collapse it all the way. So the internal tolerances on a lot of these are just out of spec, and it's continuing into 2014, and it is quite disappointing. Because of that fact, I'm not really buying these anymore. And the other issue with the B5 and of course the LMT is that with a buffer tube installed like so, you cannot remove the battery storage tubes. So if you need access to your batteries, which are stored in these tubes here, you have to physically remove the stock from the buffer tube to get access to your batteries. And I always thought that was kind of a bad design, because if I'm in a situation where I'm using the flashlight, the batteries go dead, I need to get access quickly to my batteries and get them in the flashlight right away. You can't really do that. You've got to, stop, reef down on this, pull the stock off, pull the tube out, take your batteries out, put the tube back in, put the stock back on your rifle. I didn't care for that fact. So I'll show you the tubes now. Of course, I can't show you the tubes with the buffer tube in place. So get the buffer tube out of the way, and basically you can see on the end here we have two tubes here, and we've got little tabs on them, and what you have to do is you have to twist them down, and then you can remove them. And there's two on each side, and these caps, the tubes are plastic, the caps are plastic, and we have a double O-ring design for the tube. And the tube itself will hold 1, 2, 3 CR123 batteries. So that's a plus over the Magpul STR. The Magpul STR will only hold 2 CR123 batteries on each side. So the B5 allows you to carry 2 additional batteries. And the double A's, I believe you can only get 2 double A's in there. I only have 2 in front of me, but I believe I tested this before. Triple A's, I believe you can get 3 triple A's in there. Nope, cannot get 3 triple A's in there. So you only get 2 triple A's. So that's battery storage. Now the other thing that it can be frustrating if you're not paying attention here is how these tubes insert into the stock. You can see these tubes have a slant right there, and they are designed to go in one specific way, like so. So these fit flush. If you put these in incorrectly, then this happens. And I found myself taking out batteries, and I put these back in, and I'm not paying attention, and then I get this part right here that's sticking out, and that's very frustrating too. So you've got to pay attention to what way the tube is going in to make sure that you get the slanted end flush with the stock there so it's not sticking out. And then of course you rotate these caps up so they lock out of the way, and then you can reinstall the stock back onto your buffer tube and you're good to go. So that's battery storage, and that's my dislikes and my likes. I have used these stocks for years on different rifles. I don't use these anymore. I've switched over to the STR stocks for several reasons, and I'll discuss that when I get over to the STR. Last on the list, the sling mounts. You can see we've got two wrap through holes if you were to wrap a sling through it, and we also have a QD attachment point. And the QD attachment point is ambidextrous, unlike the STR, which if you want to move your QD on the other side on the STR. So the other nice thing is the ability to swap your QD from the left to right side without having to remove the female socket. On the STR, if you want to move the QD from one side to the other, you've got to physically remove the socket with a tool and move it to the other side. The rubber butt pad on the B5 Enhanced Sopmod is removable. I don't know if they sell thicker ones or not. I've never explored that option. So anyway, that's the profile. And if we take a look at the profiles of the STR and the B5, you'll see that they're very similar, with the enhanced cheek welds and the bulging on the side for the storage compartments. Alright, so moving forward, let's take a look at the STR. Now the STR, which is the storage type restricted stock, is uses some of the same technologies that the CTR does, and mainly that's the friction lock right here. That allows you to adjust your stock and then lock it down in place and eliminate any type of wobble on your buffer tube. So to install this on a buffer tube, you basically you're going to use the bullet, or the plastic bullet that came with this, and you would hold down on the lever and insert that in. There's a little metal rod that comes out, and you pry down on it and pry it up and slide the buffer tube on, which I'll go ahead and do. I can't really do on camera because it's actually very easy to get the buffer tube installed using this plastic round insert in there. You can see there's a nice little bevel right there that works great for this. And with the friction lock not locked, there's a little bit of wobble. Once we lock it down, nice and smooth, no wobble at all. So the installation of the buffer tube, real easy, moves real smooth. And then of course installation would be, or removal would be the same. Hold down on this, stick the round in there. You don't want to stick it in too far, and press down and slide it out. Look, I managed to actually do that on camera without knocking anything over. Out of all the stocks that I've fought with to get installed, this one's definitely the easiest when you use the tool to get installed and to take off. Of course, If you don't have the tool with you, you can just use a regular 5.56 round. So you should have one of those with you. Okay, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, the QD attachment point here, you can see there is no female socket on the right side of this. There's a single female socket on the left side, and there's a hex bolt down there that you would unscrew and take the socket out and move the socket to the other side. So if you needed this on the other side, that's what you'd have to do. The STR also has wrap-through sling points. There is no facility for a cheek riser on the STR. The butt pad is removable. You've got some torque screws here. This is a .30 butt pad, and I believe Magpul offers a .55 and a .70 of an inch butt pad, so if you want something a little bit thicker, you can buy that at extra cost. And of course, the STR gives you battery storage capabilities. So the batteries are accessed from the rear of the stock here by pulling out this plug, and the batteries go in like so. It will hold 2 batteries, 2 CR123 batteries, and of course the plug goes back in there. It will also hold 2 AA and 2 AAA batteries. If we run AA's, there's a little cap plug that's in this that needs to be removed, and then you can insert that for storage of 2 AA's. So, and if you're running CR123 batteries, you put this little cap back in there, and of course you could probably store some screws or something small inside of this little compartment. And you've got one of these on each side for a total of 4 batteries, and it is supposedly waterproof or water resistant, although unlike the B5, this is a rubberized material with some grooves on it. There is no O-rings like on the B5, so I believe Magpul lists this as being water resistant. Now, one of the things I really like about this is that you can access both of these battery compartments with this installed on your rifle. You do not have to remove it from your buffer tube to get access to the battery compartments. So that's a big plus, and that's one of the main reasons I switched over from using B5 Enhanced Sopmod stocks to this one, is the battery accessibility is a lot more convenient for me. Also, the friction lock to eliminate the wobble. And another big selling factor, I've never bought a Magpul stock that didn't fit. They always fit. The B5, on the other hand, man, it's hit and miss. 50–60% of them don't fit right. So, you know, some serious quality control issues with B5. I've never had any fitment issues with any Magpul, but that's my experience. So your variances or your experiences may vary, of course, but this is definitely now my go-to stock. I've been using these for a little bit, and finally got around to doing a video to talk about them. So I'm going to wrap up this video and leave you with those thoughts. If you're contemplating a stock like this, you know, the B5 Sopmod or the LMT or the Magpul STR,